Oh, she's horrible. I've made a ghastly, ghastly mistake.
So I thought I'd just speculate here and talk about what we could see in the future. This is obviously a board meeting. And there are plenty of board meetings going on at Disney right now. Apparently, according to Mexican Iron Man's buddy, basically Disney's on fire right now. And a lot of it has to do with Lucasfilm. These guys have to come up with a way of removing Kathleen Kennedy without her going, lawyering up and making a clean break. And it's going to have to be finessed, which is why the auditors are there, looking for anything they can use to bolster their cause. Now, Bob Iger does have cause. Let's put it this way. If Indiana Jones 5, which is not doing well, has a drop of more than even 10%, he has more cause than ever. Okay. And there should be no problem with him saying you're fired or you're in breach of contract. The problem he has with her is that she's got a big mouth. She's full of herself. She's a narcissist. And really, she absolutely does not understand that she did a bad job. And I just scratch my head and go, when I heard what she was saying, basically throwing all of her SJW employees under the bus, I'm looking at her going, you hired these people. You're the one that wanted this. So it's just what we've got to look at and how the past is prologue here. Okay. Kennedy has been able to get away with a lot of stuff because of who is protecting her. Okay, get in your little short Wayback Machine. Steven Spielberg dropped all pretense. Harrison Ford has dropped all pretense. George Lucas has washed his hand of hers a long time ago. But when Spielberg did what he did at the LA premiere, that was a signal to all of Hollywood that she's lost his protection. Okay, now what Iger has to do is get enough evidence of wrongdoing, of fiscal malfeasance on her part to take her out with a whimper and not an explosion, okay? I mean, if he gets enough evidence and decides he wants to really humiliate her because he is a vindictive prick, I could see him going to Deadline, Variety, and THR and saying, Kathleen Kennedy's been fired. Here's the press release, without any warning to her, which, considering what they did to Gina Carano, saying she would not be re-signed to another contract, I think that would be karmic justice, and it would be the ultimate humiliation for her. But let's go further into what else this might hold. Because if Kennedy goes, a lot of other people are going to go.
That we do. On your fiery throne presiding over the damned.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. The fleet has moved out to flight speed and we're preparing to...
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral. Apology accepted, Captain Nida.
So part of the reason why Lucasfilm is in such a state right now is the five horsemen, these five very intimidating people from Iger's office, that part of Disney, are in Lucasfilm going through Kennedy's emails, her communications, and her finances. And they've been there since a week ago, Thursday. So they are finding things. So I'm not too worried about what that might look like. And I'm not worried about Iger not finding something he can use. Okay. But this is going to, all right, again, finessed. I think that what I would do if I were him is announce it in the trades. And if she's not in her office, send an email to her. Of course she's suspended, but get word to her through somebody that she's been terminated without having her face to face. Okay. And the reason why is because she deserves it. She's been insubordinate. She acts like she can play rope-a-dope with him until he's gone. And word on the street says he wants to stay longer now to fix what was broken because of the people like her. Look, part of this was his fault. Okay, and I think, but unlike a lot of people who just want to hate the guy, you got to respect how long he's lasted, where he's been, and you got to respect the fact that he understands that he made mistakes. Okay, so if Kathy's off in England hiding and playing the Duchess of Cornwall, Iger, without any knowledge of really what's going on at Lucasfilm or Disney, Iger's free to get to the bottom of everything. And he knows she's trying to play rope-a-dope. Okay? He knows she's trying to extend this as far as she can to outlast him. And that's just not going to work anymore. Again, he doesn't want her there because she's destructive. Look at what she was able to do just at Star Wars Celebration, taking out any win from Ahsoka. Now, this is the part where it's going to get a little bit, this is what the future is going to look like. So last January, we got a list of several names from human resources whose jobs were to be terminated. A couple of people I just left off because I can't find pictures of them. But these are people who have implemented Kennedy's ideas into Star Wars. They gave her Rey Skywalker avatar. They gave her Jyn Erso avatar. They encouraged her to hire Phoebe Waller-Bridge, again, for her Indiana Jones avatar. And these are the people that have caused trouble in the fandom. Like, here's Pablo on the stage at Star Wars Celebration, arrogantly sitting next to Queen Kathy and spouting bullshit and basking in his own ego and glory, looking down on all the peons, okay? And last night he retweeted a 1138 blog basically attacking Star Wars as being meaningless. He has to go. He's on the list. Now, Jen Heddle is not on the list, but she hates Star Wars, so, Rain Roberts, she's one of the producers on The Acolyte, named. From what we gather, she doesn't get along with any of the white guys at work, especially John and Dave. So she's gone. Ashley Sharp is a High Republic moron. She's really into it. She doesn't know shit about Star Wars. She has to go. Matt Martin, again, one of the people that attacked the fans over the sequel trilogy. He's a sequel trilogy nut. Jason Stein is another sequel trilogy fascist, and he's got to go. And Phil Stozak, who is a problem, and very much went on Twitter attacking fans. People remember these things. I don't believe in holding a grudge. there's a reason why people hold grudges. And of course, Carrie Beck, who basically had the gall to bring up the Force's female to turn it from a Nike ad to a Star Wars thing. Okay, these are all Kennedy minions. They're part of the Flying Monkeys, and there are other people who need to go. And this is what's going on. These people are terrified they're going to lose their jobs when they should have seen it coming months ago. Okay, if they actually thought they were safe when the last of the first big layoffs happened at Disney, which is stupid. Okay, they should have had their resumes done, and they should have been walking out the door. Okay, I'm sure Sony and Universal or some independent publishing house is out there waiting to hire them. But this is all what's going to happen. And what I think is there are two possibilities. As Yoda said, in motion the Force always is, or however he said it. This is what I think is going to happen. And it could be two possibilities, so 50-50. Either Kennedy gets launched off the ends of Disney's foot, then whoever's stepping in, and I know who it is, fires them, and I think he will be very happy to do that, or Iger decides Kennedy goes, they all go at the same time, or they go before Kennedy just to make her look even more stupid and more weak, that she has absolutely no support staff whatsoever. But there are other people. Lin-Wen Brennan needs to go, Janet Lewin, Rhonda Hjort, Candace Campos, whose name appears on the Acolyte lawsuit, on and on and on. But I see everything in a state of flux, and there are two different ideas that could happen. And then third possibility is Iger could kick the chair out from under her with those people suddenly gone, and she would have no recourse but to leave. But he's got to be able to pin her to the wall where she can't wiggle. She takes a little money and goes away quietly. That's really the only way it's gonna work for it to be a good transition. Again, this is going to happen. Kennedy's email is still suspended, and I don't think she'll ever get it back. So we just have to wait. It depends on what the auditors have and what they report and what they find as evidence, but they're still there. There might be a mountain of evidence. They might be tying up clues, I don't know. But here's what I think is going to happen. There are two definite possibilities, and there's a third one, and we just have to see how it rings out. Anyway, you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you around the galaxy.